The presence of your twin flame has nothing to do with physical appearance. If you are still seeking someone with specific features, a certain eye color, the perfect height, or a mental checklist of traits you believe define your ideal partner, you are missing the point entirely. The truth, understood by only a small percentage of people on this journey, is that a chosen one's twin flame is recognized on a much deeper level. It is completely invisible to those who search with the eyes of the ego rather than the eyes of the soul. A twin flame carries an energetic signature so distinct that when you finally notice it, you realize you have been looking in all the wrong places your whole life. You were focused on someone who fit your aesthetic expectations, instead of sensing who truly resonates with the core frequency of your essence. This distinction between seeing and feeling is what separates those who find their twin flames from those who spend their entire lives in relationships that never reach the depth of the soul. In this video, I will share the 5 characteristics that reveal the true appearance of a twin flame. Most importantly, I'll show you how to activate the perception needed to recognize what has always been in front of you, yet remained unnoticed. Stay until the end, and you will understand why the person you may be overlooking right now could be the exact mirror your soul has been seeking. Modern society has built an entire system around the belief that attraction is purely visual. That relationships begin when you see someone and feel an instant spark based on looks alone. Movies, songs, literature, everything reinforces this idea that you will recognize your person by a specific smile, eyes that captivate, or a physical energy that makes your heart race. When you encounter someone who fits a certain physical description, it's natural to assume it must be significant, that this person is your destined connection, because society has conditioned you to believe that deep bonds start with appearance. But here is a challenging truth that goes against common assumptions. Intense physical attraction often becomes the biggest barrier to recognizing your true twin flame. Attraction based purely on looks operates at the level of the ego, not the soul. The ego has its own standards of what it considers appealing, standards shaped by years of social conditioning, unresolved emotional wounds, and family patterns. When you feel a strong pull toward someone just because of how they look, what you're really experiencing is the ego responding to familiarity, a pattern it has been trained to seek. These patterns rarely align with genuine soul compatibility. In fact, strong physical attraction often guides you towards someone who will recreate the same dysfunctional dynamics you've encountered in past relationships. That is why so many people feel drawn to partners who ultimately prove wrong for them, repeating toxic patterns and causing pain instead of fostering growth. The ego seeks comfort in familiarity, not transformation. It searches for what confirms its existing beliefs about love and relationships, rather than what challenges and elevates them. Your true twin flame usually does not match the aesthetic ideals programmed by the ego. When you finally meet them, the first impression is rarely overwhelming physical desire. Instead, it is a more subtle, often disorienting recognition, a deep awareness that occurs beyond the 5 physical senses, in layers of perception most people rarely access because they have spent their lives focused only on the external world. Jung recognized that there exists a type of perception that goes beyond ordinary senses. He called it archetypal intuition, a soul's ability to recognize its counterpart not through physical appearance, but through vibrational resonance. This resonance is not like typical romantic attraction. It feels like returning home, like recalling a memory of something you've never experienced but always sensed. It combines familiarity with a sense of fear in a way that defies logic. When you encounter your true twin flame, you may not immediately understand what is happening. It could be someone you've known for years, but never considered romantically because they didn't fit your usual standards. It could be a casual acquaintance who evokes a strange, unexplainable energy around them. This isn't necessarily attraction. It's a disturbance in your energy field that creates discomfort you can't name. Sometimes you may feel an urge to avoid this person, not because you dislike them, but because at a subconscious level you sense the transformative power they hold. The ego reacts instinctively to protect itself. The true presence of a twin flame isn't revealed through physical traits, but through 5 subtle energetic qualities, perceptible only as you develop more refined awareness. The first of these qualities is often the most unsettling. The twin flame carries a mirror-like energy that is both attractive and repulsive at once. In their presence, you feel both simultaneously in ways that make no logical sense. One part of you wants to draw infinitely closer, merge, and dissolve all boundaries. Another part wants to retreat, create distance, and deny the importance of the connection. This inner contradiction does not signal incompatibility. On the contrary, it indicates that you are facing someone capable of profoundly transforming you. The ego resists transformation because it threatens the current identity. When you meet someone who perfectly fits your aesthetic ideals, the experience is usually one of straightforward attraction without internal conflict. You desire them in a clean, uncomplicated way. This type of connection operates at the superficial level of the ego rather than at the deeper level of the soul. When you encounter your true twin flame, the person who embodies your archetypal counterpart, you experience an inner conflict where attraction and resistance coexist. The pull you feel is not toward their outward appearance, but toward something deeper, something your body senses before your mind can fully understand. At the same time, there is a sense of hesitation or repulsion because some part of you instinctively knows that this person will challenge the identity you have built for yourself. By conventional standards, their physical appearance might seem ordinary. They could be someone you would normally overlook in a crowd if you were judging only by visual cues. Yet, when you are near them, sharing the same space, something shifts in your energetic field that has nothing to do with what you see. You may notice sudden warmth, unexpected changes in your heartbeat, a pressure in your chest, or a subtle expansion in your awareness. Your body recognizes the importance of their presence long before your mind can make sense of it. Here is a crucial point many people miss about this mirror effect. The reason attraction comes mixed with resistance is that this person reflects exactly what you most need to face within yourself. If you carry wounds from abandonment, your twin flame's energy will activate those memories immediately. If you fear deep intimacy, their emotional openness will challenge the walls you have built. If you have constructed your identity around strength and control, your twin flame's vulnerability will expose the limitations of that mask. The energy your twin flame radiates is uniquely attuned to confront what your ego fears most while giving your soul what it truly needs. This is why many pass by their twin flames without recognition. They are seeking someone their ego approves of, rather than someone their soul identifies. For example, you may be looking for strength, and yet the person you need appears vulnerable. You may be seeking someone steady, and they seem chaotic. You may be envisioning a partner who fits your mental idea of perfection, and they appear to be the opposite in outward traits. Yet, on an energetic level, the level that truly matters, this person is the ideal match. Not because they complete you, but because they challenge you to grow into wholeness. Another subtle aspect of a twin flame's presence is even less obvious. They carry a frequency of uncanny familiarity. Meeting your true twin flame doesn't feel like encountering someone new. Instead, it feels like reuniting with someone you have always known. Though never in this lifetime, this is not a romantic fantasy or spiritual illusion. It is a recognition that happens in layers of consciousness beyond linear time. Your soul holds memories that your ego cannot access. It contains impressions from experiences that go beyond this specific life. When you meet someone whose soul shares this deep history, perhaps spanning multiple lifetimes or existing in dimensions beyond ordinary understanding, you feel a familiarity that defies logic. You may know them for only a few minutes, yet feel as if you've known them for centuries. Looking into their eyes, you recognize something your mind cannot categorize. Hearing their voice may stir echoes of conversations you never had but somehow remember. This connection is not about physical appearance. It is about the energetic signature they carry, the frequency that resonates with your own essence. Many mistake this deep familiarity for ordinary romantic attraction and are confused when the relationship doesn't unfold like typical connections. This familiarity is not always comfortable. It can feel unsettling. It is like seeing a stranger yet sensing your own reflection in them. It is like being with someone for the first time and feeling nostalgia, not for a future together, but for something lost in the past that you cannot fully remember. Your perception of their appearance may fluctuate. One day, they may seem ordinary or even unremarkable. Then, a particular light, a subtle expression, or a moment of genuine vulnerability can make them appear profoundly beautiful. This is not because their physical traits have changed, but because you glimpse their true essence. In the next moment, your ego may reinterpret them, and the sense of magic fades, leaving confusion. This shifting perception is what separates a true twin flame from a relationship based purely on attraction. With someone who matches only your aesthetic or superficial expectations, their appeal is consistent and predictable. You find them attractive in a way that can be categorized, explained, and understood. With your true twin flame, the way you perceive their appearance shifts depending on your level of consciousness. When you are operating from the ego, you may see them as lacking, unattractive, or not meeting your expectations. But when you descend to deeper levels of awareness, looking not with physical eyes, but through the lens of the soul, you perceive a beauty that transcends outward form. You see light, pure essence, and a reflection of divinity within their human form. This ability to perceive multiple layers simultaneously creates an experience of their appearance unlike anything you experience with anyone else. It is as if they have two overlapping forms, the ordinary physical body anyone can see, and the extraordinary energetic presence that only you can perceive because your soul resonates with their specific frequency. The third, invisible layer can be the most difficult to accept. The twin flame of a chosen one often carries an energetic sense of purposeful incompleteness. This contradicts the popular spiritual notion of finding a perfect half who completes you. The reality is that your twin flame does not enter your life as someone fully polished, problem-free, or ready for harmonious union. They appear as someone deeply imperfect, carrying unhealed wounds, and in the midst of their own transformative process. This is intentional. It is not accident or misfortune. The twin flame dynamic is designed this way. You are not meant to find someone already complete. You are meant to encounter someone whose incompleteness complements your own, creating transformative friction. Think of it like two rough stones being polished through constant friction. They do not start smooth, they begin with sharp edges and uneven surfaces. Through interacting with each other, both gradually become refined. If you seek a twin flame who seems already healed, whole, and operating at the highest level of consciousness, you are searching for an illusion. The truth is that you are meant to meet someone whose wounds align with yours in a way that forces both of you to face what you have long avoided. Accepting this appearance of incompleteness can be challenging. You may find your twin flame caught in destructive patterns, entangled in other relationships, struggling with addictions, or operating at consciousness levels lower than you might expect from a spiritual counterpart. Your ego will often use this as evidence that they cannot be your twin flame. How could they be if they seem so lost or unready for conscious union? Yet, this is exactly the form a true twin flame often presents when you first meet. The purpose of the connection is not to hand you perfection. It is to mirror your own imperfections so you can confront them. When you witness your twin flame struggling with challenges similar to your own, and see how their wounds trigger yours, you are observing precisely the form they must take to fulfill their role in your journey. Their resistance to growth reflects your own, and their imperfections serve as a mirror, guiding you towards self-awareness and transformation. The sense of incompleteness in a connection is not a flaw, it is a core aspect of it. If you are waiting for your twin flame to appear already whole, fully ready, and operating at the exact frequency needed for perfect harmony, you will wait endlessly. That expectation goes against the very purpose of a twin flame connection, which is meant to spark growth and transformation. Here lies a paradox that only a few truly grasp. You can only see your twin flame's imperfections as perfect once you accept your own. As long as you expect someone to rescue you from your inner work, or to elevate your consciousness without any effort on your part, or to be an idealized spiritual partner free from shadows or wounds, you will misread their obvious imperfections as evidence that they are not the right person. But when you embrace your own deep imperfections, recognize that you are undergoing your own transformation, and acknowledge your unhealed wounds and unresolved patterns, you can then view their incompleteness as a mirror of your own journey. In that moment of humble awareness, your perception of them transforms. You stop judging through the ego and begin to see through the soul's compassion. You no longer see someone broken who needs fixing, but someone courageous enough to be exactly where they are on their path, without pretending to be more advanced than they are. One of the most paradoxical traits of a twin flame is their simultaneous presence and absence. When you meet your true twin flame, you may experience the oddity of physical closeness with an energetic distance, or physical distance with an overwhelming energetic presence. You might be in the same room and feel they are millions of miles away, or separated by continents yet feel their energy surrounding you constantly. This fluctuation is not about conscious actions or relational decisions. It is inherent to the twin flame dynamic, which operates across multiple dimensions simultaneously. On the physical plane, circumstances, timing, or the need for individual growth may keep you apart. Yet on the energetic soul level, you remain linked by an invisible cord that cannot be broken, regardless of physical distance. This constant energetic bond creates a sense of presence that transcends proximity. Even after months or years without communication, you feel them in your energy field. They come to mind unexpectedly, and they appear in your dreams, leaving no doubt that this connection exists beyond what can be seen or measured physically. You can still sense shifts in your own energy field that you instinctively know are connected to what they are experiencing, even without any direct knowledge of their life. This simultaneous presence and absence can make you question your own perception, as it defies everything you've been taught about relationships. Traditionally, you've been told that presence requires physical closeness, connection requires regular interaction, and intimacy requires shared time. But with your twin flame, none of these conventional rules apply. You may feel more intimacy with them when apart than with anyone you interact with daily. You can sense a stronger connection through silence than with others even during long conversations. A sense of union exists even when a physical relationship is impossible or non-existent. This form of connection, which transcends physical form, is precisely what sets a twin flame apart from any other relationship. With ordinary relationships, absence weakens connection. Love may remain, but its intensity fades with time and distance. With a twin flame, the opposite often occurs. The intensity deepens with separation. Distance doesn't create forgetting. It generates a profound longing that permeates your entire being. This longing is not sentimental nostalgia or romantic yearning. It's a visceral sense of incompleteness, as though an essential part of you is missing. You feel this absence constantly. The energetic presence of a twin flame manifests not only when they are near, but also through how you feel them when they are away. Their absence has a unique quality entirely different from missing any other person. When separated from someone you normally love, you notice the lack but can distract yourself, focus on other things, and function reasonably well. When separated from your twin flame, their absence occupies your energy field as tangibly as their physical presence would. It feels like carrying a hollow within you, a void with a distinct shape that remains noticeable even while engaging in other activities. This void isn't created by attachment or emotional need. It reflects the connection itself, where two souls are truly halves of a single original essence. Until reunion occurs, each twin carries the energetic imprint of the other's absence. The deepest, most invisible trait of a twin flame is this: they embody a frequency of impossibility that simultaneously draws you in and keeps you paralyzed. When you encounter your true twin flame, one of the first feelings is often the overwhelming sense that union with this person is impossible. Not merely difficult, but truly impossible. This may be due to external circumstances. They could be in another relationship, live in a different country, or be at a stage in life very different from yours. Or it might feel impossible because the energetic gap between your current path and the point required for union seems too great. You may sense their frequency is so unlike yours that it seems unimaginable to connect in the physical world. This sense of impossibility is not an illusion. It is a precise recognition that twin flame union never happens on ego terms, at the timing we prefer, or through paths we can control. The challenge is essential because it forces you to let go of trying to make it happen through personal effort. This impossibility serves a purpose in the twin flame journey. It requires surrender. It requires accepting that this connection cannot be forced or manipulated by ego. It cultivates a deeper kind of trust, not blind faith, but an understanding that if the connection is real, it will manifest through forces beyond your control. Reaching this state of acceptance is crucial before union becomes possible. Fighting against the impossibility, attempting to work around obstacles, or trying to force it through willpower keeps you operating at the ego's frequency, the very frequency that prevents union. But when you let go, accept you cannot control it, and find peace with the possibility that union may not occur in this lifetime, you enter the frequency where miracles become possible. Paths that didn't exist open, timing aligns, obstacles dissolve, and you realize that the impossibility was never about the connection itself. It was about transforming your relationship with control, time, outcomes, and the true nature of love. Understanding these 5 invisible characteristics of a true twin flame may reveal that you've been searching in the wrong places. Perhaps someone you dismissed as not matching your ideal carries these energetic qualities. Or maybe the person you thought was perfect physically shows none of these traits, indicating an ego projection rather than soul recognition. Here is the final truth that shifts your perspective. You cannot recognize a twin flame solely through physical perception while relying on ego. You need subtler senses. You must feel rather than just see. Modern society trains you to trust only the 5 ordinary senses, but twin flame recognition happens when you move beyond them. Stop seeking specific physical traits and notice how you feel energetically with different people. Pay attention to who makes you feel simultaneously at home and unsettled, not just comfortable. Notice who activates a deep, indescribable response within you, who pushes you toward total transformation. If you have read this far, you may recognize some of these traits in someone who has crossed your path. Your mind may have resisted, while your body and soul understood the truth. Twin flame recognition occurs beyond visual confirmation, at consciousness levels beyond thought. Once you develop this ability, you may see that your twin flame has been present all along, hidden in ordinary form, waiting for you to stop chasing surface beauty and begin feeling the truth. If this message resonated, write in the comments, "I see beyond appearance." This shows understanding. It is not about finding someone physically perfect, but developing perception refined enough to recognize the soul's perfection beneath outward form. For practical tools to strengthen this deeper perception and navigate the twin flame journey, I offer 2 ebooks. 21 Days of Transformation with Carl Jung and the Soul Survival Manual. Links are in the first pinned comment. Thank you for seeking the truth beyond appearances. The true beauty of your twin flame awaits recognition not through your eyes, but through your soul. See you in the next video.